Okay, guys, a small bit of warning before we get into this episode. Pretty much everything that could have gone wrong did. First of all, we lost the original commentary from when we were playing the game, and I didn't want to just put it up with just the video game footage and no audio, because we don't record audio when we're playing the game, because we're going to put the audio in later. And so I got on Skype with Chris the Nerd, and we were going to do sort of a commentary sports announcer thing over it, say what's going on, and do the announcements that way. Even that was fraught with problems, because we were using a program called SyncTube to watch the videos at the same time, and even though it's called SyncTube, we weren't properly synced up. He was getting sometimes up to like 8 seconds ahead of me watching the video, and then he was reacting to things before I was even seeing them. And even accounting for Skype lag, that's still a several second difference, and it's such a pain to edit, and we're already waiting so patiently, so I'm just going to end up putting it out there. And of course, even doing that had problems, because my computer likes to select to use the webcam mic, even though there's a perfectly good headset mic that sounds amazing attached to a boom mic with a fucking pop filter in front of it. The camera's on there right now, but I normally record that way, so it decided to record using my webcam mic. I have the damn thing unplugged at this point, so it can't even detect it. And then, to top it all off, at the end of the recording, my Audacity started to pixelate my audio, so it ends up sounding like some sort of a transformer, or it's being auto-tuned off-key or something. And then Erin was late getting me the background. That's through no fault of her own. She was busy, and I was really late in getting her exactly what we needed, and we were late in saying like when everything was good. So that was no fault of her own. She had a wonderful turnaround on it. So if this is your first time watching one of the episodes, just keep in mind that this is nowhere near the normal quality of a 4-Up episode. But for the rest of you, you've been so patient, so please try to enjoy 4-Up, the Nintendo World Championships.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Nintendo World Championships. Today we've got 4 great competitors to fight it out for you. First, we have in the left corner of the top side, we have TestZero. We also have Isaac, the Media Hunter. And then we've got Ozzie Arcane and the Achievement Whore, Johnny Chase. It's looking like it's going to be a fun one, so let's begin.
Yes, it certainly is, Chris. And we are going to be watching their Nintendo World Champion run because for some reason the commentary was lost, so they hired us to put in our own commentary over it, which sounds good, doesn't it?
I get paid, so absolutely.
The Nintendo World Championship was originally run in 1990, and the original winner was a guy named Thor Ackerland, who I believe ended up scoring over 4 million points by the end of the run. But they're just starting off in Super Mario Bros. Ozzie is lagging behind just slightly, but they're all pretty much neck and neck. First one into the hole is going to be... Oh, looks like Johnny overshot it, and first one in is TZ. He's stopping to grab all the coins. The object of the first section is to get 50 coins. Ozzie has foregone going into any of the pipes, and he is staying up on the top to grab a fire flower.
Very interesting strategy, and it's funny that you mentioned that Thor guy. Did he then go on to become the God of Thunder?
I believe he may have.
Well, so then it's safe to assume that whoever wins the Nintendo World Championships here is going to become the next God of Thunder, and we will see them in the new Avengers movie.
Very possible. The first one into the underground is Johnny, and TZ seems to have died. Apparently he's using the same strategy Thor Ackerland did when instead of just finishing the level, you just die multiple times and keep grabbing coins from that coin block.
It certainly does help. It's quite a strategy there.
He's already up to 39 coins, but Johnny's up to 43. Who is going to grab 50 coins first?
It's looking like Ozzie's pretty far behind, only got 23 coins.
And he is just starting into World 1-1. And Johnny seems to have made it up to 50 coins. DZ just died again, only 2 coins away from finishing. And Johnny finishes round 1 with 31,000 points, and he begins Rad Racer. The object of the round is to get to the end of the racetrack. Isaac begins, and just behind him is TZ.
And Ozzie's very far behind, only at 29 coins. You'd think he didn't even show up to play this game.
Well, maybe he was busy fighting off an invasion or having his top hat cleaned.
Very important. So everyone is on Rad Racer except for Ozzie, who is still struggling.
Well, he's carefully just taking the time to stop the Goombas, make sure he doesn't get killed, because he is Small Mario at this point, and he skips over that pipe. He could have gone down there and grabbed some coins. Maybe he has some other strategy in mind, or maybe he's just screwing up.
Or maybe he's just playing Mario the way it was originally intended to be played.
Oh, and Isaac seems to have crashed on that left turn. That's going to cost him a little bit of time. Johnny runs head-on into a Volkswagen Bug.
Not the
All the cars in this
idea.
game seem to be Volkswagens for some reason.
They were the car of the time.
And Ozzie just finished his World 1-2 and goes on to World 1-3. Back when I played this game, we originally called this level Treetop Terror.
Back when I played this level, I called it World 1-3.
Well, everybody has their own move, and Ozzie moves on to round 2. Finally. Who is ahead? Johnny seems to be close to the end of Rad Racer. You can see from the arrows at the bottom of the screen.
Ozzie is finally starting up.
Johnny has up to 4,000 points. Isaac and TZ seem to be almost neck and neck.
Yes, it looks very close, passing identical bugs.
Coming up in almost about 6 minutes left. 6 minutes and 15 seconds. We know who's going to be the first. Johnny is very close to the end. Oh, and he crashes. This will give our other two sections catch up behind him. Oh, but he finishes at 95,000 points, and this brings him into Tetris Type A.
I do believe a crash like that would probably kill a man.
Yes, but this is video game logic.
That is a very good point.
Johnny starting out with the line on the right side. He seems to be going down. He seems to be building his column on the right side of the screen.
Very interesting strategy here by Ozzie Arcane to not hit... Oh, and never mind, that strategy has changed to crashing into things.
Oh.
Not a good way to get yourself ahead.
And TZ manages to finish Rad Racer and moves on to Tetris Type A. So he seems to have taken the lead in front of Isaac, and Isaac just finishes Rad Racer as well. Ozzie is a little less than halfway through, so he's going to be a bit behind.
Johnny is doing a very good job positioning these blocks in the good spots, so that way he takes out a lot of lines at the same time. Moving very quickly is Johnny Chase.
He's moved up to level 1, while everybody else is still on level 0. Unlike the original Tetris in the Nintendo World Championship levels you up after every 5 lines instead of every 10. So it starts to be very quick, very fast. Very quick, very soon. And he's moved on to level 2, and he forms the Tetris, going right past that, right into level 3. Always been my favorite color scheme is level 3.
Very interesting job here.
Moves that T-block just into place. And TZ seems to be in a bit of trouble, building a tower too high to handle.
Oh, and he's put himself in a little bit of...
And he seems to be cutting his losses and filling in the gaps as he needs to. A shame that didn't work out for him.
Yes, it looks like he's gonna touch the top.
And Ozzie just finished Rad Racer with 4 minutes left. Maybe he can get a couple of lines in. Oh dear. Oh, and he has a line coming up. Oh, his great savior of the line. Yes.
Oh, but TZ's gonna have some trouble getting rid of some of those lines thanks to the blank spaces down the bottom.
Although, thankfully, that can actually be a legitimate strategy, because you get more points the higher up on the field the line is made. So if you make a Tetris at about the halfway point on the screen, it's worth more points than if you make it against the bottom.
Right you are.
Oh, and Johnny seems to have blocked his column, but he comes back in time with a triple. Awesome.
Yes, very well done by Johnny Chase.
Isaac is still only on level 3. TZ moving up to level 3 just now. Johnny is way ahead at level 6.
Ozzie's at level 1 now.
Coming into only about 3 minutes left, and they are still moving those blocks into place.
Yes, they are. Level 7 for Johnny Chase, where TZ is closest at level 4, followed by Isaac also at level 4.
Just finishing up with that Tetris going into place, yes. TZ has moved into level 5 now.
Ozzie's blocked himself in towards
Ozzie
the bottom
is
on level
still
1.
moving those blocks around. He's trying to find a place for that S block, those damned S blocks, and then he has another one coming in right after it. This game does not like him today.
No. Not the day. Oh! Very ill-advised move by Ozzie Arcane.
Ooh,
And Johnny Chase going very fast at level 9. Oh, makes a bit of a mistake right there, though, with another damned S block. Looks like he's managing to save it, and he does. The S block does not win today.
He manages to get it out with the almighty line piece. Thank you, God of Tetris. You have smiled upon him today.
I believe his name was Alexei Pajitnov.
He is also the creator of the infamous Hexic HD for the Xbox 360.
Wonderful game.
Very difficult to beat, though.
Absolutely. And Johnny Chase on level 10. They're coming down really fast on him, but he's still managing to put them away.
He is building without any gaps, but he has started to lose the column. He is starting to grow out of control. Can he fix it? Can he save this in time? He has blocked the column with the line piece. He's going to have to do a lot of work to make this come out.
He's looked like he's doing. He looks like he's doing a pretty good job. Oh, but he kind of messes up a little bit.
Got a T-piece in the way.
There.
He's blocked himself in. Oh, and they seem to be coming faster than he can deal with him. It looks like Johnny Chase is. He's still coming through.
On level 12 for Johnny Chase, but he's got a line piece in the way, and oh.
Looks like Johnny Chase is gone.
And so is TZ at level 10.
Oh, it's a shame. I always liked him.
And we've got Isaac at level 9 with about 50 seconds left. Ozzie's still stuck on level 2.
He's still diligently trying to put his pieces into play, but he can't seem to get a solid line to clear that junk out.
Oh, and he's just ruined himself again. Ozzie, what are you doing, my friend? Isaac on level 10 seems to be blocking himself in as well.
He seems to be trying to find a place to put these blocks, but he just can't think in time, and it looks like he has just given up.
Out at level 10. The man gave up, but Ozzie's still trying diligently to save his run with 17 seconds left to go, and
the last one to reach Tetris is the last one to complete.
Level 2. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. This clock does not move reality.
And our time is up, so we can see the final time for all our players.
Our final time.
Johnny
Chase wins by a landslide.
Wins with about 2 million points. In second place is TZ with 1.5, Isaac with 1.3, and Ozzie with 0.15489.
Very interesting strategy by Ozzie Arcane.
I wouldn't say that's a strategy, I would say that's simply a mistake. Hopefully he may do better in the next run.
Right you are.
はい、いらっしゃい、レッドスネークカモン。はい、どうした？大根が出て、お前がなんでそっちにいんだよ。この野郎、邪魔な野郎で。お前笑ってるやつあるか、本当にもう。大根引き抜いちゃうかな。抜く、担ぐ、投げる。正統派アクションゲーム、夢工場、ドキドキパニック。7月10日発売。
And here we are, ready to begin round 2 of the Reviewers Unknown Nintendo Championships. Here we are, getting ready to see what kind of strategies they're going to do this time in Super Mario.
Yes, before most of them, well, 3 out of 4 of them decided to go right to the pipes. Let's see if Ozzie has learned from his mistakes in the last one and decides to go down the pipes this time.
TZ avoiding the mushroom for some reason. What does he have planned? Johnny is the first into the pipe this time, but misses a coin, he has to go back for that.
Ozzie once again heading for the fire flowers. Very interesting strategy, as he is at 3 coins, TZ is at 23, 21 for Isaac, and 23 for Johnny Chase.
Who is just finishing round 1, followed right behind by TZ, and Isaac is coming up right behind it. And he
still moving diligently at 20 coins. At 22 coins now.
Thankfully avoiding the coin at the top of the pyramid, which would not have been a coin, which I believe would have been a fire flower.
Right you are. And he is finishing Mario World 1-1 at 23 coins.
TZ dying just to those first two Goombas. Johnny moving down to that main coin money box.
And Johnny doing very well at 42 coins. Followed by TZ after hitting the coin block. He is
Should
at
be
36.
about 38, 36, 38
Now
or
he's
so.
at 40,
36.
and Isaac
Johnny
has
is
just died. And
just
he is
finishing
at
up at that
26.
coin box. Isaac just died, yes, at the second Goombas. Isaac still has his Fire Flower, so he is doing the most powerful. If this was a power run, he would be doing fine.
Ozzie's at 36, and Isaac is behind at 30. But Johnny is on Rad Racer along with TZ.
Ozzie is in front of Isaac at this time.
Yes. Ozzie's at 46, but
Take
he's
the time to
He's just lost his Fire Flower, and Isaac is starting to catch up as he is at 46.
Taking the time to kill the Goombas, just barely avoiding getting killed by that Goomba. And can he get up to the top in order to grab those coins? Yes, he can.
Both of them are finished around the same time. Isaac has just a slight lead on Ozzie, starting Rad Racer.
Johnny and TZ are very close in Rad Racer. Johnny with 3 arrows, TZ with 1. Just barely avoiding hitting one of those Volkswagens.
Yes.
And the Volkswagen comes right back at him for vengeance.
It seems to have it in for him.
These cars, they just want to drive backwards into you. They don't care about their paint job.
Something tells me that they're drunk. Remember, kids, do not drink and drive. As everybody is on Rad Racer now, a lot quicker than they were in the last episode.
And perhaps Ozzie has learned something from his mistakes in the previous runs.
Yes. Johnny Chase is halfway there.
Isaac trying to deal with the Volkswagen, trying to back into him. Going far into the left curve and then into the right curve.
Neck and neck between Ozzie and Isaac. Johnny is 3 arrows away from completion of Rad Racer, avoiding those Volkswagens.
Just pulling him right around the right side and down the center. TZ dealing with a bit of Volkswagen trouble, one trying to dodge right into him.
Interesting strategy by the Volkswagens, and Ozzie takes a spill, and that's going to allow Isaac to gain a little bit more of his lead. Ozzie falls even further into last place. Johnny Chase has just finished.
95,000
Great racing,
points,
Johnny
which
Chase.
is multiplied
Time
by
for
10 at
Tetris
the end of the
Type
round.
A.
He starts off with a square block.
And TZ is just completed.
Oh, starting
Rad
off with
Racer
an
and is moving on
S-piece
to
and having
Tetris
to
Type
slide
A.
a T-block right underneath it at the top. Maybe that's an omen for his run to come. Who knows? Start off, and TZ starts off with a line block. Perhaps that's an omen for his run to come. And he has just screwed himself over by making a big gap in the middle. Waiting for a
Whoopsie.
piece to help clean that out. Johnny Chase going with the same strategy as
Johnny
last
Chase
time, building
doing
his
pretty
column along the
good.
right side.
It was a sound strategy last time that worked for him, that helped him win the game. Isaac's looking like he's close to done, but Ozzie has managed to catch up a little bit with only a couple arrows left. And Isaac has just completed Rad Racer and is moving on to Tetris Type A. Ozzie's got 1 arrow left to go, at full speed, avoiding some Volkswagens.
And Isaac
Johnny
also
Chase
begins
is
the
doing
line
pretty
piece and
good
putting
on
it down
level 2.
horizontally. Interesting strategy
Great
there.
racing, Ozzie Arcane.
And he seems to be putting his column in the center,
are.
which can actually help at
Johnny
higher
Chase
levels
doing
when
pretty
you have
good.
less time to maneuver the line pieces over to the other side. Ozzie seems to be building evenly on both sides. Perhaps he will be putting his column in the middle as well.
And TZ's taking out a lot of the trouble that he had earlier in the round on level 3. Johnny Chase just ahead of him at level 4.
Unfortunately, he has that big column up at the top that is stopping him from being able to maneuver all his pieces effectively, and the
As you
pieces are not cooperating with him.
Oh, but he manages to take out a good chunk of them there with that line block. Johnny Chase is looking like he's struggling a little bit too, having a square block that he has to put in a very awkward position.
Isaac has a very good setup going as he sends a line block right down to meet his brothers. Using that center column to the best advantage, although now he's building up in the middle. He's got a mountain that he has to deal with, and he's got 3 lines on the side that he can only put line pieces into. He seems to be in trouble here.
Yes. And he's got the line block, and that
what
helps
is he going to do with it? Is he
immensely.
going to send it down the middle? Yes, he is. He's going to buy himself some extra time. Hope he can get some more line blocks on the sides.
Keeps building that mountain up in the center.
Well, because there's nothing else you can do. You can either do that, or you can take the hit and build over the gap,
Oh,
and
now he's
hopefully
gonna
you
have
can
a little bit of
clean it
trouble.
out. And he's got too many gaps to make a Tetris with that. Ozzie is still down at level 0, as Johnny has moved up to level 6.
And
TZ still struggling with level 5.
And Isaac's looking like he's about to be in some big trouble here. On level 2, he might be over for Isaac. He's not putting those lines in good spots. And oh no.
Lines are not cooperating with him today.
And oh, and that's it. Isaac is done at level 2. Ozzie Arcane still holding on to hope at level 0. Johnny Chase at level 9. TZ at level 7.
Ozzie has a chance to redeem himself here. Since Isaac went out pretty soon, Ozzie might be able to get better than him. He's already moved on to level 1. Perhaps he can get to level 3 before he is defeated.
Sounds like you know more than you're letting on.
I have not watched these videos in a while, so I don't recall.
Oh, and TZ is out at level 7.
And TZ ends up getting buried. A fighter to the end. And we're moving into 2 minutes left. Who will go the distance? Who will actually survive longer? Johnny is already the way up to level 10 and building a huge mountain of S pieces, who just kept on coming. It seemed to be like 4 or 5 in a row.
These pieces are not cooperating with Johnny Chase. Ozzie Arcane having some trouble at level 2, not knowing where to put these S blocks.
Johnny going for a double with an L piece and getting a line piece just afterward to clear his column.
Ozzie Arcane being very diligent with his pieces. Very rarely do I see him use the ability to speed up the pieces.
Well, he needs as much time as he can in order to think of the best place to put these. And Johnny seems to have lapped Ozzie. He is now on level 12, while Ozzie is at level 2 with the same color scheme. It's actually somewhat disorienting.
Oh, and Johnny immediately gets rid of level 12 as he is on level 13 and moving very fast.
At this point, it's almost impossible to reach all the places unless you are very, very close to the bottom of the screen. At a certain point, you will not physically be able to move the pieces fast enough to go all the way to the left or right. So at this point, it is very important to make the column to make the well as empty as possible, which he has not been able to do.
No.
He has not been able to clear out this well in time, and he is going to end up piling over. We are going into 30 seconds remaining, and he manages to get a triple. At that high level, that is worth a lot of points.
Doing pretty good here. Gets another single. And Johnny's realizing how fast it is at level 16, and he is done.
And he goes down.
And Ozzie at level 4 lasts the longest again in Tetris, but at what cost, as he is out at level 4.
With only 2 seconds left, and the game is over. And our final score this time, Johnny with 2.1 million, TZ with 500,000, Isaac with 0.2, and Ozzie with 0.16.
About the same score again for Ozzie Arcane, but a definite
least
drop-off
points
for TZ and
consistency.
Isaac. Yes, points for consistency.
Considerable drop-off for our two top players, well, top being the physical description of their position on the screen. But hopefully things will clear up in our third and final round. Once that is over, then we add all the scores together and we see what the final term is. So we will see you guys in round 3.
Right you are.
世界の平和のため7つの武器を駆使して悪のロボット軍団を倒せ。アイテムいっぱい楽しさ抜群。スーパーアドベンチャーゲームファミコンソフトロックマン12月17日新発売。カプコン。
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Nintendo World Championships. It's been an interesting couple of rounds so far with our easy favorites so far, Johnny Chase in the lead, followed by TestZero, Isaac, and Ozzie Arcane. Let's see what happens in the final round of the Nintendo World Champions to see who takes home the gold.
We've seen a lot of interesting strategies from our 4 contestants this time. Let's see which strategy wins through in the end, which one they end up going to for the 3rd and final round of Super Mario World. TZ starting off with a jump, which actually causes you to gain a bit of speed at the beginning, faster than running. And he seems to have missed the boxes.
Down the pipe. Isaac followed close behind, and TZ is missing some coins as he takes a little bit longer to get out of the pipe.
Perhaps fatigue has sunk in, and he is just not quite at his peak right now.
Johnny Chase has already completed the World 1-1, followed very closely by Isaac, and then followed even closer by TestZero.
And Isaac seems to have gotten fireworks, though. So has TZ. He has seemed to have gotten 3 fireworks, which will eat up a bit of time. So Isaac manages to come into the lead behind that. Unfortunate.
Yes.
Ozzie still with the fire flower, just barely starting to come up with the final run throw to the flag, getting caught up on the stairs there, and finishing the level. Johnny is now ahead with 37 coins, followed closely by Isaac and TZ, which are almost neck and neck in terms of coins.
Alright, and we got Johnny Chase, who is just entering Rad Racer right now.
TZ just finishing the line, and just behind Isaac, who is also moving into Rad Racer. In the bringing up the rear again is Ozzie, who has gone for his fire flower strategy, which seems to have not quite worked out too well for him in the past, but I guess he goes with what he knows.
And there he is at 46 coins, and there he goes. He has just completed all 50, and he's about to start Rad Racer.
None of our contestants coming up against any cars, but going into the first turn, Johnny goes into a crash.
And all 4 of our contestants are once again in Rad Racer now.
With 7 minutes and 7.5 minutes left to go in the final round. Not quite sure what the strategy is in order to gain a lot of points in Rad Racer. Perhaps you'd have to drive close to cars, perhaps you just have to go very fast. Not quite sure what the strategy is to gain the most points. Because everybody seems to finish the game.
Again. It looks like TestZero has a bit of a very slight lead right now.
He's just barely managing to keep from running over out of that crash as he runs into those Volkswagens who just seem to want to get him to fall off the road. What kind of a driver would be so vindictive as to do that?
I have no idea, but Johnny Chase has just crashed again. This is giving Ozzie Arcane actually some time to catch up as he's only a few arrows behind. TestZero has a bit of a lead right now, followed by Isaac, Johnny, and then Ozzie bringing up the rear again.
TZ going right between a line of 2 cars. As Isaac is going into that curve. TZ's going to have a bit of trouble coming up with this car that is straddling the line right above him as he tries to go into the curve. How is he going to get out of this one?
Oh, and Isaac has just crashed with 3 arrows to go to the finish line. It's looking like TZ's going to win this one handedly.
Not quite handedly, but he is going to go into Tetris with a slight lead.
He's got 1 arrow left. There's 3 left for both Isaac and Johnny, who has just crashed again.
Ooh,
not very good strategy
cars are
there.
not cooperating with him today.
Ozzie Arcane is catching up as he's only got 4 arrows left as Johnny's got 3.
And
Isaac
TZ
has
just
2.
finishes the race.
TZ about to start on Tetris Type A with a bit of a lead over Isaac, who's looking like he's going to come in 2nd place.
Going into Tetris with a little over 5.5 minutes left. Ooh, TZ starting out having to drop a L block underneath a ledge there. But then he starts to put his pieces into place properly, and Isaac is starting up behind him. Let's see how he begins. Tetris originally created in 1989 by the famous Alexei Pajitnov, who named it for the Greek root for 4, and the only other sport game he actually liked, tennis.
Very interesting information. And everybody is now on Tetris. Everybody on level 0.
Ozzie starting out with an S piece at the start. Not a very good omen for him. But he manages to slide a line under the ledge and get himself going, building a mountain.
the first one on level 1, but followed closely by Isaac and Johnny, who look like they are both close to starting Tetrises of their own.
They got their mountains built. Very solid square shape out of Isaac there. Pieces are cooperating with him this time. Now he just needs to get that almighty line piece. And speak of the devil, there it is.
Level 1. TZ getting close to level 2, gets the almighty line, and bam, there he is. Level 2. Level 2 for TZ. Ozzie Arcane actually has a pretty decent mountain going as well, aside from the little S piece that he's got hanging out on the right-hand side.
And hopefully he can slide a piece in there to get rid of that, like this one he has coming up ahead. Will he move that into place, or will he slide it? What's he going to do? Oh, he slides it underneath the ledge. Oh, but he fails to slide it over in time. That is going to come back and hurt him in the end.
Johnny Chase gets the almighty line piece, but he's got a couple of dead blocks there in the center that might prove to be problematic for him.
But he's got another almighty line and a second one right behind it. That is going to be very helpful, clearing that big mountain out of the way, which was looking very bad for him for a bit.
Interesting use of that line piece right there, and he gets them back to back, and he is on level 4 with TZ, who's also on level 4. Isaac's getting a nice little mountain going as well on level 2, and Ozzie Arcane still hanging out in level 1.
A couple of garbage blocks in the bottom, but still managing to keep his stack low enough so that he can easily maneuver all his pieces.
TZ's got a bit of a lead here in level 6, and Johnny Chase right behind him on level 5, and Isaac's starting to catch up with some good line block pieces on level 3.
The problem with Isaac has a double column there, so he has to worry about sending 2 line pieces down at once in order to clear a Tetris, which can be very dangerous, especially when hoping for the random number generator. A lot of people think that the line piece is more rare than other pieces, but it's not. If you look at the statistics on the side, you see it seems to come as often, if not more often, than other particular pieces. Just Johnny's, for example, he's gotten the line piece 17 times to the L piece at 9. But it's just you notice it more because it's the one you're anticipating the most.
Right you are. Johnny Chase gets a pretty nice Tetris right there, as he is on level 7 with TZ at level 8. Isaac doing pretty good on level 5, and Ozzie's doing better than before at level 3.
Still plotting in the back. Perhaps Slow and Steady may win the race for the rabbit, but not for our Planet Arcane representative, Ozzie.
I believe you mean the tortoise. But yes, the point still stands. Johnny Chase having some trouble with some of those blocks. They looked like they were giving him a hard time, but he overcomes it pretty quickly as he is on level 9. And
DZ having a very good stack going, unfortunately unable to get as many pieces as he needs before he gets that line piece.
Some S blocks not helping TZ right there.
And trying to move that L piece underneath the ledge, but not able to get it in time. He is starting to have trouble. He is starting to pile up faster than he can do things with. Looks like he is going to be out very soon.
And yeah, right you are, and there it is, level 10, and TestZero is out.
So let's see what Johnny and Isaac can do behind him.
Isaac doing pretty good on level 7, Johnny doing even better on level 10. Ozzie Arcane having some struggles with some of these garbage blocks on level 3. And just as we say that, Johnny has moved to level 11.
Going in just with 1 minute left on the timer in round 3 of the Reviewers Unknown Nintendo Championships. Who is going to come out ahead? Can Johnny go up ahead? He is just passing TZ's score with 41,000. But Isaac is doing even better than Johnny with 49,000, coming up on 50,000 very soon. If he can just get a couple more lines, see if he'll be able to break that 50,000 barrier.
And Ozzie Arcane has finished on level 3, and Isaac is done.
Isaac is piling up. He cannot break that 50,000. It's up to Johnny. What can Johnny do? He has a good well down there if he can only get that line piece.
Oh, no. And he is done
on
level 12. He got
the line piece, but he can't get it there in time, and Johnny is gone.
With 15 seconds left on the clock. And we've got the final scores from this round for all of our contestants. Johnny Chase, who had won the past couple of rounds handedly, only has 1,184,800. Our winner this time was actually Isaac at 1,341,000, followed by, as I said, Johnny Chase, but very close behind him was TZ at 1,115,000, and then bringing up the rear again was the Arcane one named Ozzie at 172,250. Apparently, the Fire Flower strategy did not help him any of the 3 times he tried it.
And our final scores tonight, after tallying up everything, in 4th place we have Ozzie with just under 500,000 at 490,940 points.
It wasn't exactly helping him when he decided to go for those Fire Flowers all the time in Super Mario Brothers. It definitely held him back.
And of course in 3rd place we have Isaac the Media Hunter with just under 3 million at 2,926,215 points.
Absolutely. Isaac had a much better strategy going into Super Mario and Rad Racer, but he seemed to lose most of his momentum going into Tetris Type A, where he couldn't really handle those S blocks.
Well, the S block seems to be the troll of everybody's existence, but our 2nd place winner seemed to have been able to overcome that with 3,254,695 points. Of course, TestZero comes in 2nd place.
Right you are.
Which means our leader, Johnny Chase, with a staggering 5,478,000 even. Congratulations, Johnny Chase. You are the winner of the Reviewers Unknown Nintendo Championships.
One strategy that Johnny Chase used that really seemed to work for him was especially in Tetris Type A, where he was really able to handle all the blocks that came for him. Each preview, he seemed to know exactly where each one was going to go and had everything planned out appropriately, which allowed him to get many 5-block Tetrises.
Which does not even seem possible. Congratulations, Johnny Chase. We will continue on 4UP after these messages.
The challenge is Metroid. The power is Nintendo. Defend the planet Cephas against the evil Mother Brain. It's survival or destruction. Do battle or die. Metroid only from Nintendo. Play Rad Racer. Play with power. It's turbo speed in 3D. It's treacherous tracks, hot cars, hairpin turns. One mistake and you'll roll. Rad Racer only from Nintendo. Now you're playing with power.
Warning, such behavior is irresponsible, immature, and very foolish. We recommend you try it at home. Paperboy from Mindscape for your Nintendo Entertainment System.
And we're back for our 2nd half of our 4UP half-season finale. Since it's a bit short to do a single episode of just 3 races of Nintendo World Championship, we're going to have a special treat for you. We're going to get into Super Smash Bros. Brawl.
Right you are. And we've got a new challenger who has taken the place of Ozzie Arcane. It is Chris the Nerd from such wonderful shows as Whatever He Does. So
Yes. Some movie called like Light in the Dark or something.
right you are. So we are here for the super brothers that are going to smash your brawls. Let us begin.
Dealing with a little bit of lag here, we have TZ as the Great King DDD, Chris coming in as Ness, Isaac as Lucario, and Johnny as Snake. Chris going up to start fighting with TZ. TZ throws out a Waddle Dee and
we got Isaac and
tussles a
Johnny
bit with
down
Ness,
the
who
bottom.
is hitting him with his yo-yo, trying to just get away from him.
Oh, and they got a bit of a team going on as DDD throws a Waddle Dee at Isaac.
And they both go flying from Johnny.
Everybody's starting to get in the fray, and the first item pickup is by Chris as he throws it at
And it
Johnny.
drops a lightning bolt, which has shrunk everybody else, giving Chris a considerable lead right now.
Right now, the most damage has been taken by TZ. at 87%, followed by Chris at 75.
But thankfully, DDD is a very heavy character, so 100 damage for him is not quite as much as it would be for someone like Ness, who's considerably more light.
Right you are.
And he is not letting up on him. And we have a first Smash Ball appearing. Who is going to get it?
And it is taken by Johnny Chase, who uses it right away. And we got Snake over there.
TZ hiding out down in the corner. He is trying to avoid them. He is going on the right side, so TZ is going over to the left.
And it seems as though Johnny is aiming for Chris, but now has switched over to aim at King DDD, who is a little bit of a slower character, and he hits him with the very last rocket, and TZ is the first one of the the first one ousted.
And there's a CD. Somebody is trying to get it. Oh, unfortunately they can't. He was not able to get that CD in time, unfortunately. Oh, and Gordo dodged by Johnny.
We got Isaac at 119 as the most damage, followed by, oh no, that Snake now has the most, followed by Lucario, Ness, and then DDD, but he only has 2
Johnny's
stock
hanging
left.
around in the middle. DDD taunting a little bit. Oh, and the Gordo, is it going to hit anybody? No, it won't.
And
oh, and Ness goes flying. Can he go the second hit? No, he can't.
neck and neck between Chris and Isaac at damage, 134, 135 respectively, with Snake having the most at 147.
TZ playing around with his mechanical hammer and trying to avoid Johnny, who is just beating up on him. Shooting a mortar at him.
And Chris gives a little throw to Isaac over there and hits him with Ness's lightning. And Isaac is gonna fall.
But does he manage to get the platform? No, he can't.
We got Chris in the lead right now at 137% damage, but 3 stock. Everyone else is at 2, with the most damage taken by TZ at 92%.
Isaac charging up his Shadow Ball.
Oh, and Chris takes a big hit from Johnny Chase, but manages to get back to the platform. No, he misses the lightning. He misses Ness's lightning, and over he goes. It's all...
Oh, and down into the pit, and everybody is at 2 stock now. TZ standing in the corner, spamming his Waddle Doos and Waddle Dees.
And we got Isaac.
Ooh, and landing right on top of Chris. Not doing too much damage, though, since Chris has had almost no percentage at that point, so a very small knockback.
Another smash ball, and Johnny Chase gets it again. And he's back to shoot some more rockets, and it looks like he is aiming for TZ.
Leave me alone, I say.
And he gets hit. And now he's going after...
He goes flying with 153% damage. There is no recovery from that.
Looks like now he is aiming for Isaac and Chris, going mostly after Isaac, who is taking some hit from the rockets, but manages to stay alive.
Using his double team very effectively and charging up his Shadow Ball.
And Chris goes over there to fight with Isaac again, as Johnny and TZ fight on the left-hand side of Hyrule Castle.
There's a pit ball down below. Nobody seems to be going after it, though.
Yeah.
GG still spamming the Waddle Dees to no avail, but they might hit somebody, so why not have them out on the field?
And we got Snake has just died, and he is at 1 stock.
Try to use his Cypher to get back up to the top, but unable to continue. And they are both back at 1 stock. TZ and Johnny both have 1 stock. Snake has the least amount of damage at this point, but he is on his last life, so trying to set a little bit of C4, but the people keep ganging up on him.
Chris is still hanging out in the lead at 57% damage, and oh, that goes up to 62 with 2 stock, and Isaac at 88.
And we have the third Smash Ball on the field.
And everybody
Who
goes
is going to
for it,
get this
and
one?
like
All 3 are going after it. And it's gotten by Ness, but can he call it in time?
No, he cannot call it in time.
And DDD manages to smash it free and hit all 3 enemies at once. Smashing Chris apparently 3 times in one with that. And who gets it? It's Lucario. And, ooh, DDD, the crowd is chanting your name, but you just got annihilated.
And that's it for DDD. He is out of this match. It is 2 stock for Isaac and Chris. Johnny hanging out at 1 stock and 100% damage. Luckily, Snake is a little bit of a heavier character and might be able to withstand a little bit more of the punishment.
Isaac trying to charge up his Shadow Ball using his double team, but Snake manages to sneak in there just in time. We have a 4th Smash Ball on the field. Who is going to get it this time? Isaac is going for it. Snake is going for it. Oh, Snake says, out of the way, Pokemon.
And everybody looks like they're going for it, and Snake gets it again. His third Smash Ball of this match. Will he hit anybody with it? One shot will send, and there he goes. Isaac is out. That leaves only Chris on the field with 2 stock
Isaac is still very close to Chris at this point, since Isaac has, since Ness is very high damage. One more hit from Snake will take him out. But Snake finishes his final smash and returns to the fray, getting hit by Ness in the process.
And we
have a Wobbuffet on the field.
Trying to shoot some lightning from far away.
Johnny
Chris,
picking up a crate.
to actually hit anybody.
You're supposed to hide in the box.
And
Snake not thrilled
over
him.
here with some high damage.
Oh, he gets a Fire Flower and sends Ness flying.
And Chris is out. And there's a little bit of a fight going. Isaac is sending some Shadow Balls from far away. And Chris goes over there to try and stop him, but gets the brunt of it. And an assist trophy is out.
Who is it going to be? It is... I don't know that person. Do you know that person?
I do not know that person.
No, he seems to be shooting at the corners that nobody seems to be standing at. He might end up going after Johnny. Who knows? Nope, he jumps out of the way. Johnny is just kind of hiding down in the corner, letting Chris and Isaac duke it out. Since Johnny is very close to death, maybe he can take out the winner.
Oh, and a rocket. Ness gets hit with a rocket, and we got Isaac is still charging up the Shadow Ball from down.
A fifth Smash Ball on the field.
Another Smash Ball out on the field. And Chris gets it, and oh, it's immediately taken away by Isaac.
You damn Pokemon.
And Isaac once again gets it, his second smash of the game.
Chris moves to the top corner in order to avoid that attack. And Johnny manages to survive it, even with all that damage he has.
He's beating up on Ness, gets him to over 100%.
Johnny staying in that center area where it's very easy to avoid taking damage. Manages to double combo Chris, and Chris goes flying from a rocket. Crowd is chanting his name. We have a bit of lag behind as they try to fight off, taking a couple of Shadow Balls in the middle, and one good solid hit will send Snake flying, but in the center of a field like this, it is very hard to get anyone to get KO'd. You can get very high percentages by just hanging out in the middle here, which is why this course is tournament banned, I believe.
That is correct. And we've got Isaac holding on at 118%, but Johnny Chase doing really good at only 210. He's got a lot of damage so far. Very smart to hang out, and Isaac goes away to charge up his Shadow Ball again. One big hit will send Johnny flying. And and he dodges the Shadow Ball and manages to clobber Isaac with a very big hit.
I tell you, I haven't seen a Pokemon take a blow like that since I stopped going on E621.
Right you are. And that's the game. A big smash from Isaac manages to send Johnny flying, and he wins.
And the winner is Lucario.
Lucario.
With our final setup coming as this: Isaac in first place, Johnny in second, Chris in third, and TZ in fourth. Let's see who comes in first and who comes in next in our round 2. And Chris has gone random this time, ending up picking Captain Olimar. TZ has moved over to Mr. Game & Watch and is using his alternative naming convention, D-Dragon. Apparently he did not have his controls set properly the last time. He had the wrong control scheme set up. Johnny has moved over to using Link, and Isaac is keeping with Lucario. I guess you don't mess with success.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And we have an Electrode on the field. Someone is going to avoid that. And, ooh, TZ goes flying. A very light character with very powerful attacks, but they cannot do too much against an Electrode like that. Manages to get the first piece of the Dragoon.
And we've got Johnny almost gets knocked off as Link, but manages to stay safe as he manages to get back onto the playing field. We got
Isaac hanging out in the corner, charging up his Shadow Ball, trying his double team out. And there goes Link off the side of the screen.
And another part of the Dragoon has been picked up by Mr. Game & Watch.
Using his bug spray on the guys, knocking out a third part of the Dragoon off the stage. That's going to be back in a little bit. Manages to hit both Isaac and Johnny with it, but unable to get a smash on them. We have the third part of the Dragoon on the screen now. Who's going to get it? Chris manages to steal it, preventing destruction for just a little bit longer. Off the stage
Holding
again.
on to 3 stock so far. Everybody else is at 2. Chris is in the lead right now, but has very high damage, and Captain Olimar is a lighter character.
Manages to knock that Dragoon out of him with the Judge, and who is going to get it? Who is going to get it? I think it's Lucario.
And some high damage taken, and there goes Olimar for his first death of the game. And everybody's at fairly moderate damage. Link at the most with 103, 99 for TZ, and 68 for Isaac as Lucario, who's kept with the same strategy of sticking off to the side and firing the shadow balls.
Well, it's worked for him in the past. You would want to keep the same, but a little variety would never hurt anyone.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, and he ain't fixing anything as he stays.
Isaac and Johnny trying to
And a
fake
punch
each
with the
other out.
Dragoon, and there we go.
As the shadow ball goes off, it doesn't manage to hit anybody. And we have the Dragoon on the screen. Who's it going to take out?
It takes out Link. He has 1 stock left, followed by TZ with 2 stock and 138%. And we've got Isaac at 81% 2 stock and 148% 2 stock for Captain Olimar.
And TZ goes flying, and as we get our first smash ball on the field. Who is going to smash it open?
And it is picked up by Chris, and bam! Captain Olimar is flying up in his rocket.
And everybody is getting killed by indescribable creatures that come at night. And Link is eaten in that.
Kill.
As TZ is taken out by the rocket ship, and it comes down to Chris and Isaac as Olimar and Lucario using the Warp Star to no effect.
And Chris throws the bomb, and it does nothing. So he's trying to go after the soccer ball now.
Very well done dodging that as Isaac jumping.
And another bomb for Chris, and it does hit Isaac this time.
Just barely
pretty
on the
moderate
corner.
Damage. And another soccer ball is out on the field. Chris taking advantage of the soccer balls and the B-bombs being thrown. Isaac's still doing some pretty good dodging there at 69%, whereas Olimar's at 87 now, and another bomb.
Somebody really wants those bombs to go off.
And another bomb thrown, and it just manages to hit Isaac at the tip of the explosion. And now we've got a Pokeball out in the field. Who is going to get it? And it looks like it's going to be Chris.
And Chris goes, get back in your Pokeball, Lucario. And we have a Munchlax on the field. He's going to wander around, but there's no items for him to eat, unfortunately, except a Smash Ball.
But he's not going to eat a Smash Ball.
But so who is going to eat the Smash Ball? Who's going to break it open? Is it going to be Olimar or Lucario?
It's looking pretty close. And it was Chris. Isaac seemed to hit Chris into it. A lot of damage.
He's going to try to avoid that damage. Can he avoid the attack from the starship? Yes, he can. He goes back into the fray.
And Andros is now on the field. Isaac has to contend with an Andros assist trophy as he's shooting some polygons out.
And those polygons, they look like they hurt.
Isaac almost commits suicide, but comes up to get blasted off, and Chris is the winner.
Getting taunted by Milk. The worst way to go, getting taunted by Milk.
Milky taunt. And Olimar comes in first place, followed by Isaac with Lucario in second. Third was TestZero as captain, that's Mr. Game & Watch, and then fourth place was Link, Johnny Chase.
So we have 1 win for Isaac and 1 win for Chris. Who will end up coming in victorious in our third round? Let's see. This time we have TZ as Bowser, Johnny now taking Captain Olimar, Chris as the Ice Climbers, and Isaac once again as Lucario.
I stick with random. Isaac sticks with the Lucario. Johnny and TZ seem to switch it up pretty regularly on their own by picking characters that they're familiar with. And the Ice Climbers start off by just shooting some rockets at people.
And Bowser goes flying with only 103 damage. Bowser is not a light character. That was a very heavy blow from Isaac.
And Isaac and Chris are fighting off on the side, and Isaac's got the rockets, but they are all gone.
Oh, man, it's just to gang rape Johnny.
Right you are. And the Ice Climbers, and out he goes with 1 big smash, and the Ice Climbers are at 2. Right now our leader is Isaac at 3 stock. with 68%, followed by Olimar, who is just sent flying.
So our
And
winner
he's a
right now is
2-stock.
Lucario with 3 stock and 68 damage. We have a pit ball on the screen, and TZ tries to charge up his attack, but it does not manage to hit the ice climbers. We have a party ball. What's that going to open up to? Let's see if it's bombs. We have another pit ball on the screen. Bowser breathing a bit of fire, hoping to hit Isaac.
And yes, it seems like a double team from Johnny and Chris send Isaac flying as he has lost his next amount of stock.
And TZ down to a single stock with Bowser. Very unfortunate for him.
And and over goes the ice climbers.
The
at
two
one
inhuman
stock
characters
left.
fight on the left,
He's
the
lost.
two more or less human characters fighting on the right, and now everybody's in the center, in the middle of the fray. Isaac using his double team, hoping to counter on somebody, and he does. He manages to counter on Johnny.
And we got TZ gets sent pretty far by the ice climbers.
But he manages to get back to the field just fine. We have a metal box on the field, metal.
And it blows Olimar to oblivion as he is at one stock. Our leader is still Isaac at 2 stock with 38%, and then over goes TZ, and he is out.
Very small edge on their right side of the map there. The Great Fox, I believe, is the only map that is grandfathered since the original Smash Brothers. None of the others None of the others exist in Super Smash Brothers Brawl except for the Great Fox.
Right you are. And we've got an R-Wing coming to try and shoot at people, not hitting anybody, getting pretty close to hitting one of the ice climbers, but not really. As we've got the lead is still Isaac, and then Johnny Chase, and then Chris, and then Johnny Chase bringing up the rear with 1 stock and 75% damage.
Fighting in the air, Johnny seems to be fighting without any Pikmin. Does he know how to pull them out of the ground?
It's just one press of the B button if you're using a GameCube controller. And he sends Lucario flying, and Lucario's at 1 stock. The ice climbers.
Using that lipstick, trying to grow some flowers on the other guy's
He
heads.
loses. Oh, Nana is gone. It is just 1 ice climber. Chris is at.
There's that flower on his head draining his power. He's got to shake that off of him.
And he manages to do that.
We got a Weavile on the field now from that Pokeball.
And a very nice shot from Chris as
Who manages to take out Isaac and Johnny with that. Isaac getting very daring, going in right as Chris is charging up his attack.
And
there goes
Isaac.
Captain Olimar. It comes down to Chris and Isaac.
And there goes the ice climbers. And it is done. Isaac has won his second bout. He has won, followed by Chris in 2nd place, 3rd place for Johnny, 4th place for TZ.
It has not been good for our friend today, has it?
No, that it has not.
Well, hopefully he may show a better showing in the upcoming rounds.
And we've got Chris as Samus Aran, Johnny as Sonic, Yoshi is TZ, and then Lucario once again for Isaac the Media Hunter. Once again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Isaac has been in the top 2 each time. And we got Samus hitting an early blast with her phaser. Going after Yoshi, who eats her, goes in the opposite direction. Pretty sure physics do not work that way.
It's video game physics. It doesn't have to make sense. Easy dumping into the water for a little bit. We have an assist trophy on the field. Who is going to get it? Oh, it's Lucario, of course. And we have the Devil from Devil World, moving the map around, making it just hard to see what the hell you're doing.
The most damage has been taken by Yoshi at 3 stock and 196%.
Isaac goes flying, but manages to come back because of that Devil keeping him on the screen.
And we've got our first Smash Ball. Who's going to get it? It looks like it's going to be... It is Chris has the first Smash Ball, and it does absolutely jack. But get her into...
Yes, as our 3 guys manage to avoid the attack, and we now have Zero Suit Samus.
And right away, she is already taken off the field.
You have to be good with Samus and Zero Suit Samus to be very effective using them.
And Chris is at 2 stock as Zero Suit Samus. Yoshi's still hanging in there at 220% with 3 stock.
And Yoshi is not a very heavy character, so that's very rare to see him that high. He's about as heavy as Lucario, I believe.
And Lucario has just been taken out. And we've got another Smash Ball in the field. Who is going to get this one?
Nobody seems to be going after Smash Ball at this point.
And Isaac gets it.
Oh, who is he going to go after? Left or right? Oh, he focuses right on Samus, taking a crap load of damage, and she goes flying. And he says, "Get out of here, Yoshi! I don't like you," and sends him off to the right side as well.
Right you are. And it's looking like it's going to be pretty rough as Chris is dead last at 1 stock.
TZ using his egg roll rather effectively, controlling the area on the bottom of the ship.
Johnny Chase as Sonic taking a lot of damage right there at 141%. And he's taking some pretty big blasting. We've got another Smash Ball. And it's looking like Yoshi's going to grab it.
Oh, this could be a turning point for our friend here as he goes into dragon mode and starts breathing fire on everybody in the house. Says, "Take that, Isaac, for killing me before." Isaac tries to escape using a warp star, but it just brings him right back down in order to be taken out.
And
Isaac and Johnny both go flying as the Smash Ball ends.
And we got Chris at 108% at 1 stock. Not looking good.
He's his egg roll, taking out Zero Suit Samus, but getting hit by that catapult.
And it's looking pretty rough here. Nice use of the grappling hook there by Chris. Almost gets sent off by Lucario. Yoshi's in the water. Manages to save himself and hits everybody with the egg roll.
Well, the water isn't that bad unless you stay in there for too long. Then I think you get eaten by a fish or something, and we have an assist trophy on the field. Who's going to get it? It's Sonic.
Shadow.
Very appropriate.
And Zero Suit Samus is the first one to go.
Yoshi using his down attack in order to control the area below him. We have a lipstick on the field. I know that sound very well. Urshan in the middle of the ship, controlling area down there. And which sends Isaac and Johnny both flying. Isaac gets a 3rd assist trophy, but it is denied just in time and manages to set free a Metroid. So we've had 2 characters relevant to our other fighters. We've had Shadow for Sonic and the Metroid for Samus.
Right, it's too bad Samus is not around anymore.
Yes, it might have... Oh, that would have been quite ironic to have her baby Metroid attacking her. Oh, and the ship gets taken into the air.
Yes, it would have been, and we got a Ho-Oh on the field now. And it's down to Isaac and they are chanting Lucario's name. But he is at 1 stock and 135% as he gets another Pokeball on the field. It appears to be a Chikorita, but it does very little.
But there's another Smash Ball who managed to get this.
And Yoshi's got it once again.
Can he use the dragon attack to his advantage? Isaac is hiding out in the water.
And it does nothing for him as he sends our Lucario flying. And TZ has won his first bout as Yoshi, followed in 2nd place by Lucario, as Isaac the Media Hunter. 3rd place was Johnny Chase's Sonic, and 4th place, Zero Suit Samus for Chris. And we're going into our 5th and final battle.
Who will bring home the gold in this final round? Let's find out.
One, go!
The winner was Jigglypuff in first place. Second place was Isaac once again as Mario. Third place, the other Mario as Johnny Chase. And fourth place was Pit, played by Chris, who decided to just walk this one off. But just for the sake of who won the most, we're going to say that our winner was a first place tie between TZ and Isaac the Media Hunter. Second place was Chris, and the fourth and final place went to Johnny Chase.
We will see everybody next time. Take care, folks.
Spay and neuter your pets.